Hi, and welcome to the Codependent Knitters. We are a knitting podcast in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. This is my friend Lisa.
This is my friend Dawn.
And we like to knit. And knit, and knit, and knit.
And knit. That's why we are the
We love
Codependent Knitters.
to knit. This is episode 16. If you are new to us...
Holy.
Yeah. If you're new to us, thank you for joining us. And we hope you stick around. And if you have stuck around, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for taking part in the craziness.
Yes, through our evolution in technical difficulties and
technical
podcasting.
mayhem.
Yeah. And knitting. We have definitely changed, I think.
Yes.
And I definitely have improved. My yarn tastes have changed.
They've changed, yes.
Even color choices. You're using a little more color now.
Shh, don't say that.
Sometimes secretly.
In the closet.
Yeah.
No.
So I think this podcast, well, it's been a lot of fun for us.
Mm-hmm.
It's also been great for me. I mean, I can't speak for you. It's been great for me.
Oh, no, it's been awesome. I love it.
It has exposed me to so many new things and opened up my mind to try new things.
Exactly.
And new friendships.
I find out, yes, friendships, those are awesome, and the people we've met.
Yeah.
I find it makes me knit.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Yes.
And sometimes it's we feel pressure to have things done to show you, not just have,
or at least one of us,
or at least something, right? And so then, and plus because you get so excited about what you're knitting,
we don't want you to think all we do is shop for yarn.
yeah. We're trying not to be a shopping podcast, but I have been knitting so much lately. I've got pain in my elbow, and it's coming from my shoulder, elbow, sometimes down into my hand. And last night it kept me up. I woke up in the middle of the night, and the way I was laying, it was just
you know what?
Screaming.
You're gonna have to do some sewing.
I'm gonna do some sewing after we're done this podcast. I'm gonna take a few days, do some sewing. I need to go for massage again because I have gone before, and it's really helped.
I love. We see the same massage therapist.
We do. Actually, half my neighborhood sees her now.
I love going to see her, unless I have to see her, because then it's like,
she's amazing. If you live in Sarnia and want to know about her, message us and we'll tell you all about Wendy. Yeah. She's phenomenal. So that's, I have to take a little pause and heal my arm. Today we have a lot going on. We've got some FOs, we've got some whips, we've got a little bit of stash building. I'm going to talk about stuff I picked up on my trip to Vegas.
I'm going to talk about Feather Your Nest.
We have some giveaways coming soon, or to announce right away. In this episode, we have some knit-alongs finishing and some new knit-alongs. So that's kind of what's on the agenda for today. Have you got a co-host?
I do. I have a cohort over here.
Marvin.
Just trying to protect my yarn.
Yeah. So that's kind of what's on the agenda today. So I'm not sure what order we'll do everything in, but that's our plan. So just a little more chit-chat. When I was away... You went without me to a local event.
I did.
Talk about that.
It was Feather Your Nest, and she invited everybody on a Ravelry group, and it was kind of interesting because she was kind of hinting at a new dye company that she was getting in the store, and she has beautiful yarn. She has Chaboy, she has Isinger, she has
Isinger.
Yeah.
Isinger. I don't know.
Isinger. Anyways, she has that.
Blue Moon Fiber.
Blue Moon Fiber, one of my favorites, and Hedgehog.
A ton of
Hedgehog in different ways. And it's kind of, I find... And Tosh, yes. I find when I go in there, it's kind of all these colors. A lot of them are beautiful, but
So we've talked about, just quickly, Feather Your Nest before. We have a local yarn shop in Sarnia. Heaven is Handmade.
Yep.
Feather Your Nest also sells yarn. She is a home and gift store, so it's not just yarn
and chocolate.
And when you walk into her store, there's beautiful giftware and
candles,
food gifts and all kinds of delicious things and delicious yarn. So there's a lot to that store.
It's kind of an interesting store. You can look her up online.
Yeah.
So she had this event, and we were all invited to go from town and stuff. So we met up with I met up with one of my fiber friends, Adrian. And then we met up with Noelle there. So we went, and it was pretty amazing. And we found out she has lichen and lace.
Nice.
Yes.
I went to see it after I got back.
Yeah, and when we were there, she had 22 colors.
That's pretty good.
That's one of the things I love about her.
She had a whole big rack.
She doesn't order just one or two colors. She commits and she's in on it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was really interesting. It was really neat to see everybody, and she did a really good presentation on the color marling.
Yeah, that's hot right now. Hot trend.
She was saying that it's really hot trend. And she was explaining how, to do your when you do a pattern and it's marled, you need to make sure that you do a swatch in each color so you get what they look like and you can lay them out. So that was fairly interesting. A little overwhelming for the gray girl here, but it was good. It was really good and very informative. Very, and then she had someone who bought a knitting machine from her. It was like a crank knitting machine. Oh, I forgot to
ask you about that.
Yeah, it was interesting. There were certain shapes you could make, and she got into that. Because she carries Addie, she can actually order it.
The Addie one?
Yeah, it's an Addie.
I've been looking at that.
I forgot what it's called.
I have to
it's about this big around.
Yeah.
So she can actually make pieces that are
So she can do big. Flat fabric too?
Yeah, so it was quite interesting.
Can you do socks, or is it too big for that?
No, it's way, way too big for socks. So like I said, it's about this big around.
They do make a sock one, though.
They do. So it was kind of interesting.
I would not get a sore elbow if I had a sock.
The funny thing is I tried it, and it's very mesmerizing.
Yeah.
Very mesmerizing. You just crank it, and it just goes around and around. You hold the yarn, and you crank it. And it kind of reminded me way back years ago. I bought this little thing, it's about this big, and it's got a crank on it, and it does I-cord.
Yeah.
And I did I-cord garland for the Christmas tree, but I could watch that thing crank around for like hours. But
I wish I would have seen that. It's someone local that bought it?
Yeah, it's someone local. She does a lot of. She started as a machine knitter.
Okay.
So she's more. She'll do a bunch of it on the machine, and then she will finish by hand or whatnot. Yeah. So it was interesting, very interesting. Yeah. So that was fun.
I need to get
chocolate.
She sells the chocolate.
She does. She sells chocolate.
I have to steal myself. You have to walk past all the chocolate to get to the yarn. And as delicious as yarn is, like chocolate is also tempting.
The chocolate is, yes.
Yeah, I have to, take a deep breath and just go buy the chocolate.
Go, quick, go. But yeah, and she's got that jewelry stuff there.
She has jewelry. Yeah, she's got
like purses, you know what? If you're ever in Sarnia, it's a great place to. It's one of the 2 places that I would probably recommend.
Well, we actually have
Feather Your Nest 3. Or Heaven is Handmade.
So let's do a quick. We have, if you're coming to Sarnia, if you want a road trip here, there are 3, and if you sew, there's 4 places in our neighborhood.
You can message us in.
Yeah. So 3 places to buy yarn, and then there's a quilting fabric shop just like 20 minutes from town, which is, if you're really into quilting fabric, that's the place you'd want to hit.
I'm not a quilter, but wow, they had some beautiful fabric.
Well, I've gotten bag fabric from her. Yeah.
Dawn, I like this one.
Yes, I know.
So yeah, so that was that.
Cool. So last episode I showed the 2.
Are you explaining this?
Yeah.
Oh, thank heavens, because that needs some explanation. Because I'm looking at this and it's like, whoo.
I showed the 3 hats and the gradient cow that were going to friends of mine, right?
Yes.
To the family.
Oh, okay. I get
so
it.
They're good friends, and when they were visiting us, they're in Manitoba. When they were visiting us last year, I had knit a hat for Dave, who's the dad of the family.
Yeah.
And he was joking about, he wanted me to knit him some underwear. So then we were looking up like men's underwear, like and there's thongs and all kinds of things, like goofy. So then when I sent this package, it was unexpected. And it was supposed to be for Christmas. It was quite delayed, but I just sent a package and didn't tell them it was coming. So they were, quite excited. And when Dave got home from work and found out there was a package and everyone got knitted things, and he said, "Oh, did she make me underwear?" Like he honestly, really wanted, sincerely,
that's hilarious. Underwear. Well, he's in Winnipeg.
He like wears crazy socks and all kinds of stuff. So I am on the hunt for a pair of men's like kind of boxer briefs.
What she's trying to tell
you
nicely,
fitted bicycle short type briefs,
is if you've knit underwear, Dawn would like to know how well the pattern worked out.
Yeah.
And can you recommend
if you know of a good pattern? I looked on Ravelry and there's a thong. There's a couple pair that look just not good. They're really wonky looking and ill-fitting, and I'm not sure how they would work. But I had a thought.
I like that. Have you seen the stranded knitted one? It's like color work.
With the pouch?
With the snowflakes.
Yes. I could do that one maybe without the pouch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Without the snowflakes too. Because they
True.
wouldn't move very well.
No. And yeah. So I'm on the hunt. But I had a thought, Lisa.
But you need to ask, does he wear tidy whities? Boxer briefs
no,
or
I did.
boxers?
His wife told me. So he does like kind of the
Boxer briefs?
boxer briefs. Like not loose legs.
Tight legs.
But not shorties, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Like the bicycle short type.
Okay.
Yeah. And okay, so Stephen West did those tights. Like you can knit a pair of tights. So I was thinking I could modify that pattern and just put a little bit of ribbing around the legs, right? Cut them off.
Yeah.
So that's an idea I had.
That would work.
Maybe I could contact Stephen West and see if he would
Hey, fella,
make me a pattern for men's.
Do you have a pattern for men's knickers?
So, and the other thing is I have to find some really crazy, loud, bright, just
I have that
crazy
crazy
colors.
Allegrius rainbow.
That's true. That's true, you do. The one, So this is on my like dream knitting. It's not. I'm not going to do it anytime soon. However, I'm on the hunt for, a nice like. He would wear them, so they need to be a real pattern, not a joke, because he will actually wear them if they fit properly.
It's gotta be. She's on the hunt for some gitch.
So that's the chit chat. Do you need to chit chat too? You got something to say? Hey. Hi. You're not part of the show. Yeah. Go. You go. Go on. Go out. Out. Okay. So should we talk let's do some prizes?
Well, I love prizes.
The good stuff at the front?
Yeah.
Okay. We had...
Or we can make them watch to the end.
And they'll skip everything else. We had 2 knit-alongs that ended at the end of February. The first was the Canadian Pillow knit-along. So that was... The book's just under there. If you've been watching us, you've seen the pattern book many times. Our friends Gladys and Christy here in Sarnia did this Afghan pattern book. It's all squares. And so we did a pillow knit along. Actually, the Fiber Friends podcast started it first. Pick any picture and knit up the square to make a pillow. This is the, I chose the one of the blue nose. Make sure it's not upside down. Okay. So this is the front, and I'm just sitting here knitting, working on the back panel, which I'm just doing in like a twisted stocking stitch kind of stitch, which this is the stitch that appears in the sailboats, or the sails on the sailboat. So I'm just knitting on this while we're talking. The prize for that knit along, I made a Canadian themed project bag. This is my medium sized project bag. Easily holds 2 skeins. If you haven't watched before and seen my shop, it is the Knit's Best Thing. Is that upside down? Yeah. Knit's Best Thing. And I don't have a card handy. Yeah, there's one there. I'm on Etsy. So I did this bag, and then the lining is, it's hard to see. It's white on white. You can kind of see them there. Maple leaves. And there will be a maple leaf zipper pull stitch marker, or Progress Keeper stitch marker as well. And I did a matching needle keeper for your DPNs or circulars. So this is the prize for that knit along.
Yay!
And there were 4 finished objects for that. And the winner was Sandy Sack Harwood. So Sandy Harwood, congratulations. Get in touch with us and we will get your address and get these sent out to you.
What would be the best place to get a hold of us? Ravelry?
Yeah, either message us on Ravelry or Instagram, either. I'm familiar with Sandy. I see her a lot on Fiber Friends, and perfect. She's active on our stuff too. Woo! Yeah. So the second was It's Still Sweater Weather knit along, and that's the eye pillow. Where'd we put it?
In a safe place.
It's in there. It's too small. It probably slipped down to the bottom.
Ha-ha!
Okay.
I used mine the other day and loved it.
Me too. I've been using it at night.
I know, right?
So, it's still sweater weather. You had to complete a sweater. we had 9 entries, 9 completed finished objects. And the prize, this is a aromatherapy
You
eye
can
pillow.
smell it. It smells so yummy.
This one's lavender. There's brown flax inside. And it's scented with lavender essential oils. And the fabric bag comes off so you can launder it. And then the actual bag inside the lining is a muslin fabric. And this is made by our friend Kelly here in Sarnia. And it's Bliss Aromatherapy Eye Pillows.
It smells so good.
They are lovely. So there's her
Shake it
information. Oh, I'll just shake it over here. Can you smell it?
Yeah.
So all you do is put this in the microwave for a minute with a cup of water. And I think just to absorb some of the microwave.
Now you know what?
And then just, you don't even have to heat it. You can warm it and then put it on a sore muscle, like a knitting elbow.
Yeah, big one.
Or just, you know what, put it beside your pillow when you go to bed. And
It just smells so good, yeah.
And lavender's a relaxing scent. It's great for nighttime. So, and I'm going to throw in a needle keeper as well with this one. So this goes to Ravelry ID Mrs. Cushman, who is Cassandra. So congratulations, Cassandra. She knit a flax sweater.
It was beautiful.
For
It's bright too.
I don't know if it's her daughter. It was there was a child wearing the flax sweater. Yeah, and that's the same one I did for Jack too during
That's
this
funny.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny.
Well, it's popular, right?
Yeah.
It's a very popular pattern.
Yay!
So congratulations, Cassandra. Again, get in touch with us on Ravelry or Instagram, and we'll get your address and we'll get that prize out to you. And thank you everyone who participated. And we're gonna keep going with more knit-alongs. We have 2 still ongoing. The Whip It Real Good. There were 31 entries this morning.
Nice.
31. That's really good. And Bust Some Stash, 91.
Yay!
Yeah.
We all need to.
And
bust
one of them
some
had,
stash.
I looked, I think that was last night I looked. One of them has 2 more updates this morning. So
perfect.
they're going crazy.
Perfect,
yeah.
perfect.
And okay, so we have some new prizes to show you for those. So we were so fortunate. We were contacted by a maker. Her name is Coral, and her business is BrambleKnits. And I'm just gonna grab her card. Here's one on this one. BrambleKnits. She's Canadian. She's in BC.
Yay!
And she sent us some bags for giveaways.
I'm sorry, those are
They're
gorgeous.
beautiful.
They are so beautiful.
So this is the first one. And this is like an embroidered fox in a little sweater.
I like that.
I know! A little pom-pom zipper pull. Isn't that cute? Little faux fur zipper pull.
It's like your bag ate the bunny.
Look at the fabric on the bottom. It's dark teal.
Oh, it is pretty. It's like a batik.
And there's like a shirting fabric inside.
That is beautiful.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous, gorgeous. So that's one of the bags. And that's probably like a
It's about your medium.
1 to 2 skein, yeah. And then she sent, I don't want to spill my coffee and get my coffee on it. Keep it out of the way. This is,
I love this. You know who's going to love this material, right?
yeah.
Caroline.
It's like a sock size tote or hat or mittens. Look at they're stitching all the way here. It's both bags are lightly padded.
Show them the stitching on the
And
bottom.
look at the bottom. Look at that embroidered stitching along the bottom.
Isn't that pretty?
Beautiful. And it's in like a variegated thread too. A little tab with a little clip. There's the lining.
Oh, that's pretty lining.
Very pretty. Just a beautiful bag. So thank you so much, Coral.
Thank you. That was, they're both beautiful.
They
Gorgeous.
are. So I had an idea.
Oh, no.
Let's use one
Okay.
for one of the knit-along giveaways.
Okay.
Okay. Let's use the other, like maybe we'll use the sock one. Let's make a Ravelry thread and have people go to Coral's shop.
Oh, yeah.
Have a look at her stuff, right? Like we want people to check out Coral's stuff too. Do you think that's okay? We didn't talk about that ahead of time.
You're
okay with that?
Yeah,
Because we have a couple prizes.
I'm way okay with that.
Yeah, and so go to Coral's shop, have a look at her shop, and we'll put what you have to do to qualify to enter, but you'll have to comment.
It's kind of spur of the moment. We have to figure it out.
We just made this up. Tell the others. So details will be in our Ravelry group, and yeah, we want you to go and check out her shop because she just has beautiful stuff. I think what you'll have to do is take a look at her bags and
then
comment. Tell us about one that you like and what project you would put in it.
Yes, and what you would put in it would be kind of fun to hear.
Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. And so one of those will be that kind of a giveaway because we want people to check out Coral's beautiful work. Mm-hmm. We also have. I ordered some yarn from Crafty Mama Designs. So her yarn company is Candy Coated Yarn. I found my yarn. So I ordered. Dawn just started the self-striping yarn.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And she did some Easter colors, and this was one of them. It's called Egg Hunt. But I just think this is summer. The teal.
You know what? That's
the
just
green.
I'm thinking of flowers and summer and summer sky. And,
so it's one of her Easter colors, and I was just watching her latest podcast, and she's going to leave it up for a while because this one is summery.
Like hotcakes.
But I don't know if she's going to have it forever. So, you know, if you like it, you may want to go and order it. And I think she doesn't dye to order. Because just in case she... Are you kidding me? Just in case she...
Runaway yarn ball.
I do my own stunts. Just in case she does take it off the shop.
Head on over and check it out.
And... she also sent one for us to give away.
Yay! Thank you, Dawn. Oh,
this is beautiful. This is called Honey Bunny.
There's sparkles in it,
and it's a glitter. It's her Stellina.
Sparkles.
Oh yeah, you can see some of the sparkle. Trying to get the most of it, but yeah.
Fabulous.
I love it. So it's her sugar base, 100 grams, merino nylon, 400 meters, generous. Lots of socks. You can get 2 pairs of shorties out of this probably. Mm-hmm. And there's a little package of tea and some other goodies there for the lucky winner. So this will be a prize for an upcoming knit along. Of course, I always have bags to use for our knit alongs. Is that everything?
That's everything.
That's everything. Okay, so those are the prizes.
Perfect.
We didn't talk about what we're wearing. We should do that. We always forget to do that at the beginning.
I know, right?
You're wearing a sweater. What's your sweater?
I'm wearing a sweater. It is Suncoast.
Did you write it down?
I forgot to write it down. My bad. I'm gonna get fired.
You look it up, and I'll talk about mine. I think I've worn this before, but it was a while ago. This is just a cotton gradient cake from Shirley Bryan Yarns that I got. She's usually at the shows in southwestern Ontario, and she has all kinds of color combos. And you can also get them online.
I like that one.
So it goes from just white to it blends into the grays and marls with the black to solid black. And when you buy the cake, you get a free pattern with it. So this pattern is called the Mariner Shawl. And basically you start at one end, the skinny end, and when the colors change, you change to the next section. So it's hard to see. There's actually a really pretty
texture.
It's the same one as this. So there's some texture, there's some eyelets, and then some lace at the bottom. It just knit up like a dream. It was very quick and easy, and it's just a nice lightweight cotton shawl. It was really it's really sunny and warmy. It's warmy, sunny and warm in here today. So I didn't want to put anything wool on. I just grabbed this. Did you find yours?
I did. It is Sunshine Coast by, how do you say her last name?
Heidi Kermeyer.
I think. Heidi Kermeyer, I think. She's a Canadian designer. And I did it with Cascade DK in gray.
Cool. Cascade, nice.
Yeah, it's kind of neat because it's got that detail down the side where it zigzags and stuff.
Yeah. Okay, stand up. I don't know. Stand on. Put your arm up. Yeah, that's pretty. And a few little like eyelets in there.
Yeah, so it's kind of neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's where you do all the increases.
Just a crew neck?
Yeah, just a plain old crew neck. And nothing
boat neck.
Spectacular. Like it's just a rolled over.
Cool. Top down?
Yes.
Because you don't like to sew.
But you can do top up,
very
bottom
nice.
up. Yeah, so,
okay.
So
let's show some finished objects.
I know. Can you believe it? I have one.
And then go.
Okay. So, I explained to you last week about, or last time in podcast, my husband has a hat that he wears, and one of the ladies that he works with absolutely loves his hat. And she kept saying, "Where did you get your hat?" And he finally said, he says, "My wife made it." So I took, not really. I just decided that poor girl's, she needs a hat. So
That's
I made
very
her
generous
a hat,
of you.
a matching hat. So
I like it.
that's cute, eh?
Yep.
Like, yeah, so I made this. But I made it, she likes my husband, and it's the dark marl.
Mm-hmm.
But I made her the light marl because don't want to be getting Stinky Man's hat or anything, right?
Well, you mix them up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I made that.
Nice. That's out of
That is out of
Peyton's classic wool.
Classic wool.
We've had it. I've always said Peyton's, and then most of the people I know in Sarnia say Pattons, like our knitter friends. And so I can't remember why I was doing something last night. I think it was Chow Gu. And I was watching something about someone talking about how to say Chow Gu. So I thought, okay, enough already. Let's figure this out. So I went online. I was actually going to phone them, but it was late at night, right? So I went online.
Because then they'd have that message. Thank you for calling Peyton's.
Well, I thought, I'm not the only person who's wondered how to pronounce it. So I went online, and yes, there are people who have phoned them, and it is Chow Gu. And I forget what it means. It means something like crafty lady, supposedly, I don't know, but Chow Gu. And then while I was at it, I looked up Peyton's, and it is supposed to be Peyton's.
Not Pattons.
Yeah, apparently there would be 2 T's if it was, and that's, I took linguistics
all fine.
in university, and I kind of always thought, well, Peyton's, because a short A would have another consonant after it, but whatever. Ugh. So say it however the hell you want, but I'm going to keep saying Peyton's and feel okay about it. So... So your hat was knit.
I'm going to say Peyton's because she's going to correct me.
I don't care. But I'll just think it in my head.
No, it's me. You'll probably elbow me.
Peyton's classic wool.
In the gray marl.
And it's already marled, so you didn't have to marl it yourself.
No, I didn't have to marl it. And it's
well,
just
then you're on trend.
It's a plain old ribbed hat.
Nice.
Two
like
ribbed.
a 2x2.
2x2, yeah.
Watch cap style.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, and then I finished...
Brace yourselves for what your eyes are about to behold.
Okay, so
you're gonna need help.
I'm gonna need help. So here we go.
We need that dun 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 dun. You don't know what song I'm singing? The Rocky song. Dun 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 dun. Look at this. It's like a clown scarf. It just keeps coming in all different colors. It's beautiful, Lisa. And
I'm done. I am done.
You did the white.
Tut finito. I know, right? Now we need a still of that.
It's so nice.
It's pretty awesome. And it's so soft. And it's so...
What is it? If you haven't seen it on our show before.
Okay, so this is Adrian's dyed to order. They're samples of the colors that she has. We were so lucky to get... samples and like little mini skeins for Christmas.
Yeah. And so Adrian is Adrian Sauter. She wrote this pattern, the Knit Sister Tube Scarf. Yeah. And she is the dyer behind Old Oak Yarns and one of the trio on the Fiber Friends podcast. Yes. So these are all of her...
They're all her colors.
Tonal colors.
Yeah, they're tonal.
Yeah. And she
they're
gave us
beautiful and they're gorgeous. And
she did these on her MCN base. Mm-hmm. Like you just want to...
And
you can wear this as underwear. It's so soft.
I found out that my cat likes cashmere. If I cannot find the scarf, I find the cat. But yeah, it's beautiful. And I love the colors. I'm not a big color fan, but the one thing I like is they all go. Like you can put those two together and you can put those two or, And
I don't even like yellow, but this is a beautiful gold.
Mm-hmm.
This is why scarves are unsafe. This is a beautiful gold. Even the greens. I'm not a big green fan, but I love this kind of
the acid
apple green.
I love this blue.
Yeah,
that's gorgeous.
We love it all. And the dark purple.
Nice. I'm not a pink fan, but I love that pink. Yeah. And of course, here's my section at the back.
That's Lisa's part. You should have done that in the middle, so it would always be around your face.
Well, you know what? I was thinking of that afterwards, but it's so
nice. And the natural you just did on either end.
Yeah.
And you let the ends just
curl.
Nice.
Yeah.
Love it, Lisa. So the pattern is written to do random mini stripes.
Yes.
Lisa already has a similar stripy scarf. So My zipper's stuck.
See, look at how many colors you can show at once.
That's awesome.
So because I already have the random stripy scarf, I did it in color blocks.
Yeah.
I will tell you also that's a lot less ends to weave in.
Yeah, smart.
Little
Should have told me that
FYI.
after or before I was like inches
So this
into
is
this.
inches. You're like
Yeah,
feet.
but when you decided to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm coming along. I do a little
Yeah.
bit every now and then. I
That's
have added
beautiful.
in a few little bits and pieces of different minis I had here and there.
That one's cute.
Yeah, there's a few. And then I bought
there's
some
that
mini
one.
skeins from Suzanne as well. So I think this this really periwinkle blue is
Yep.
one of Suzanne's. There's a couple. I just put in a few little bits of that. And I'm doing the jogless stripe. You
Yeah,
did too.
I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a
It's-
video on their YouTube channel.
Yep.
On
And
how
it's
to do
really
the
helpful.
jogless
It's really
stripe.
good. It's,
Which
yeah.
it is. Like you can kind of see because of the looseness of the stitches. But when up here it's more noticeable because I haven't woven in the ends. So when I weave in the ends,
Right
like
here.
look down here.
You can't, yeah.
When I
You
weave in
can't-
the ends, I just pull them just the right amount so that they snug
There's
up.
mine right along here.
Barely noticeable. Yeah, I can't even tell.
So yeah.
Yeah.
So
it's
go
a
check
great,
that out
great tutorial.
from the knitting guru, Louise.
and I still have.
Hervanna.
That's yours.
Who
What
is
this?
who is Hervanna? It's right here. It's not mine.
No, it's mine.
Caroline. Caroline
Caroline.
was the one that was knitting at the time, wasn't
Yeah.
she? Yeah.
I still have so much. Well, I'm maybe halfway. I have a lot to do. Oh, and I still have this section I have to sew back on because
Yes.
I cut out a piece that it was a different yarn.
Live stitches.
Texture wise, it didn't look good. Well, it's still on yarn,
I'm
but I'm
just-
going to just graft it back to the end.
Yeah.
Eventually. And this is my bag by Cheryl of my needle crafts. It was a Christmas bag.
It's so cute.
That, isn't that adorable? Little Christmas cats. Great bag. She makes great bags, and she's going to be at some of the shows coming up in Ontario too. So watch for her. And
So that's me for work.
That's-
me for FOs.
that's FOs.
Yeah.
Okay. I have 2 pairs of socks. I got into a sock groove, and usually socks take me a long time, and these, I don't know, these just didn't.
That's because you were traveling too, right?
Yeah. So I started socks on a plane because for our vacation.
Because she was on a
We
plane.
went on a plane, and I've been wanting to knit them for a while. This is I meant to put them on the blockers. Oh well, you can see it. It just has a little twist
What is this?
cable. That's not woven in yet because
That's not an
No,
FO.
I'm gonna- it's an FO. I'm going to just modify part of it. I'm going to redo this toe and add a couple rows. So when I did the second sock, even though I tried it on, it just felt like really short on length, and
And just give me a hard
so
time.
I just
You go,
added
girl.
a couple rows when I did the second
perfect.
sock. So I'm gonna that's why I left it. I didn't weave it in. I cut a long tail because I wasn't sure. I'm just gonna tear back and redo the toe.
Perfect.
Like an hour work.
Perfect.
I did an afterthought heel. Oh, I did the afterthought heel twice on the second sock because an afterthought heel is basically a toe in the middle of your sock.
Yep, extra leg.
Right, but the Susan B.
side.
Anderson one, you don't do the stitch before your decrease.
Okay.
So you just decrease on either end, right?
Okay.
Whereas with the toe, I always knit one, then decrease. So I started doing that, which wouldn't matter because it's the same number of stitches.
Okay.
It's just that it looked quite a bit different. And I already had the other one done.
Okay, yeah,
It was my second sock. And I was almost at the end. And I thought, you know what, it's so quick. So I just went back and did it again and made them look the same. This is Manos del Uruguay Alegria in the Manglar colorway that I just picked up a few weeks ago from Heaven is Handmade.
It's nice.
It's beautiful.
Very nice.
It's like smoky jewel tones, right? Like
Yeah.
it's blowing out in here, but they actually are really pretty.
That's a bit closer.
Really pretty colors. But I'm ready for some lighter colors now. I need something bright and cheerful for summer. But I
So
love
who's
these.
your other set?
And I was just going to say, I did this on a 2.0 because this yarn, it's so soft. It feels a little bit finer.
It's
It's
squishy.
probably a normal fingering, but I was also
Squishy.
knitting with Croy, which is thicker. So yeah, so I thought, well, I'm going to do a 2.0 because I usually use a 2.25. And I didn't modify the stitch count, so it's only 64 stitches like I normally do. It's quite, like, I like a snug sock, so it's fine. but look how skinny that looks. Like it's quite snug on me. So I think from now on I will do a 2.25 with 64 stitches.
Okay.
And if I use a 2.0, I would go to 68 stitches, I think. Yep.
Learning process.
I used my Chalgu red lace 2mm 40-inch cord. Yep. You can do it after. I'm gonna.
No, I just thought we can talk about it.
Okay.
After.
Okay.
Because
We're gonna talk about that needle in a bit.
Yes.
My other pair of socks. I started these. This is my new.
What is that?
It looks like some fishing tackle. I started.
Oh, right.
No, I can't get it out. Oh, Dawn. There. I started these socks on the 9-inch. I showed them, I think, 2 episodes ago, maybe. Because I wanted to give these another try.
How'd it work?
And it lasted an hour. This is just. I feel like T-Rex trying to knit. Like it's just so tiny.
I feel like a hobbit.
Yeah, like it's just.
Or I feel like a giant with hobbit needles.
Because when you get the stitches on there, there's nothing left to hold. There's nothing, like I must use the rest of the needle with my hands, like for, just for, as levers. I don't know. But I couldn't do it. My hands were cramping. Like I was like, eh.
Yeah. No, plus, I'm the same way.
When I tried before, my tension was out of whack too. But I was just on the ribbing and I stopped and I thought, no, this is painful. And it's just not for me. And a lot of people love it. But that's my second attempt with the 9-inch needle. And
I know who loves doing them on 9-inch.
Caroline.
You can maybe give that.
Lots of people do
that.
I may keep it. I don't know why. I just can't see myself
because it's
ever
a knitting
loving
toy.
Well, yeah. So this is Peyton's Croy in spring leaf stripes.
It looks like a.
Yep. If you
Minecraft.
If you want a good deal on Croy, Mary Maxim. So you can order online. They still do the catalog mail order. And if you are in Ontario, near London, there's a store, or Paris, Ontario. London, Ontario, Paris, Ontario. There are stores, and they're like under $4 a ball.
Depends on they usually have some that are on sale.
Yeah. And in the catalog,
colors
they always have some clearance. And I thought they were.
Do you want to see the clearance?
Clearing them out.
You want to see the clearance?
No, we'll talk about my socks first.
Okay.
We'll talk about that in stash building.
Okay.
So they're 50-gram balls, so I used one in a bit. And then I added black Croy for the heels.
And he likes
and
that,
toes. So you can't tell. I have to come up close. I did a garter stitch knit row, like on the non-increase rows. I just purled. So it's an afterthought heel, and I just purled on the non-increase rows just to give it a little more thickness and maybe durability. And because
so it's garter stitch.
Yeah. Knit, purl. Okay. I wouldn't do it on socks for me because I think they look kind of chunky and ugly, but they're for my son. So I thought, okay, he's my test case.
He's my guinea pig. My little guinea pig.
So they are pretty squishy and thick. And Croy is a rougher yarn, so maybe it would feel nice in like Allegoria. But he tried it on before I did the toe up, and I made him, like I said, stand on it. How does it feel? He said it was fine. So he didn't mind the feel of the garter stitch heel.
Perfect.
Yeah. So those are my socks. And, Lisa. Guess
where'd
what?
you go?
I'm right here.
What?
Look. They do not
Are
match.
you kidding me?
I did not make them match. Well, they're for my son.
He won't notice.
But also, I thought if I try to make them match and they're off by like a row or two, it would bug me.
See, I would rather that, where you intentionally did not make them match.
Right. And have them, obviously.
Which is why I go one way and then
siblings.
go the other.
Right. Yeah.
Because I take from the middle of the ball on one and
he
on
won't
the
care.
outside of the ball on the other.
Yeah.
Because like you said, if it was off by one stripe, that would make me crazy.
Yeah, if it was just a little, or you get to the toe and you miss like the last stripe. So yeah, those are my FOs for socks.
Yay.
I have one more FO.
You have one more FO?
Yeah, I whipped out the crochet hook. I've been wanting like a basket, like a crochet basket. So the only thing is, okay, so this is my. Hang on, I gotta put something under it because it's big, so it's kind of floppy. So there's my crochet basket.
That would be like a wicked cat bed.
Yeah, I gotta be careful it doesn't turn into one.
Oh, it might.
So it's just a big, you start at the bottom, you increase the round and around till you have the diameter you want, and then you just stop increasing, which makes it go straight up. And then I did it long so it could fold over because it's really floppy. I tried to do 2 strands together with a big hook, and it was just too unwieldy.
Do you think it's too soft, the yarn?
Yeah, like you'd have to use a really, and I didn't use, I used an 8mm hook. Sorry, I don't know what letter size that is. It's big. It's an 8mm. but with, that's why I did it really long to fold the edge over to give it a little stability. Good. And I'm just going to put yarn and project bags and stuff in it. So it'll, yeah. And this is Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick, 2 balls. And I used it right up till the end.
Yeah.
So, and it's all just single crochets. Yeah.
Yay.
Ta-da! So that's, I broke into the crochet for a bit. You know what I did yesterday?
No.
I went to my son's school.
I was going to say, you went out for tea.
I went out for tea and knitting.
I know that.
And then I went to my son's school because there's a group of girls, like grade 8? Sort of 6, 7, 8 girls. I think they're 6, 7, 8.
Okay.
On their recess break once a week, they are learning to crochet. So they're still just practicing like chains and single crochets and getting, their tension. And yeah, and I just went because it's, there were a couple missing. I think there were 4 or 5 girls there, and there were a few missing. So they only had one of the teachers teaching them.
Yeah.
And it's just an extra set of hands to help them out. So yeah, so I went and helped out. Whoops.
Well, do you want to talk about the needles now?
Okay, sure.
Dawn has been using these needles for a while.
I was using the Chalgu red lace. Okay, this is a really long, this is a 40-inch cord because I went through, I did some 2 at a time, and I had bought the 2.25 millimeters. And it's still fine to use for 1 at a time.
Yeah. Like
it gives you lots of magic loop, which I'm really into right now, is doing it on the magic loop 1 needle.
Now see, I love 2 at a time. Love it, love it. But sometimes it gets twisted. So I've always done it 2 at a time on 2 circular needles.
Right.
And Noelle from what is it? Knits and Pieces?
Noelle's, Knits and Pieces.
Knits and Pieces.
Our friend Noelle.
Awesome podcast. She lent me hers to try because she kept saying that part of the frustration was the needles. So she lent me her 2.25, but I don't knit fast. She knits really fast, so I wanted to get it back to her. So I stole Dawn's.
I had 2 of them.
Yeah. So I've been knitting them 2 at a time on the magic loop, and I'm finding that the red cord, when you do 2 at a time, is awesome. It's really good. It doesn't kink. It's a
great magic loop cord.
Yeah, it's really good. So.
And then the tips are nice. I knit jacks on my.
Now I was lucky enough. I called the Country Yarns.
Yep.
And she has one.
She carries
there
them
for me. So yeah.
Country Yarns is a yarn shop. Just a few minutes, like 10-minute drive outside town.
We have mentioned it.
We've mentioned it many times.
Yeah, she usually has vegetables.
Yeah. She has a garden too. She lives on a farm.
Yeah, she lives on a farm. It's a great little place. Beautiful place.
I had it here.
Okay.
My needle. I did Jack's socks on my Addy Turbo sock rockets.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That's what it was. Sock rockets. So it has the light blue cord. Equally good. That cord didn't bother me at all. So I didn't really notice any difference. So it's also good. I think this is just a tad more flexible, but the sock rockets held its shape too.
Yeah.
The one I gave you, that was in the package because I keep them organized in my package. So it was all curled up, right?
And you would never
in the package,
know it.
I pulled it out of the package, ta-da, ready to go.
It's amazing.
No straightening, no kinks, no twists. So we are right now both having a little love on for these red lace. Yeah. And I'm going to cast on my next socks. Candy coated yarns, and I'm going to use my red lace 2.25 millimeter this time.
Yay, we'll be doing
2.25
together.
What size is that? US. I don't know.
All right.
I don't know.
I don't know.
2.25 millimeter. So
that's that. I guess I can talk now that I've.
Well, you just showed your whip, so you have socks on the go.
Socks on the go. That's
Arnie
Regia.
Nope.
Yeah. Is it different colorway? I just love the way it goes up. Yeah. I'm too darn short.
Lots of different pattern in these.
And I love that they come in 2 balls, 2 50-gram balls. That makes my life so much easier, right?
Yeah. You don't
Not
have to
that I don't mind rewinding.
Yeah.
So there's that.
What other whips do you have going on?
Mom's boxy still.
Oh, it's coming along.
It is coming along. I only have from this marker here 2 inches to go. And then I
To
can do
the armpits?
to the arms, yeah. So that's good. I'm pretty stoked about that.
That's Boxy by Joji Locatelli.
Joji Locatelli, and I'm doing it in a kind of a utilitarian yarn. It's
a sock yarn.
It's a Regia sock yarn. So
Works.
yeah, super wash. It works.
What size needle are you using?
I'm using 3.5
Millimeter.
Yeah.
So here's, Lisa and I were just chatting about this yesterday. A lot of people ask us, and we've seen them ask other makers, what size needle did you use? So your pattern always gives a suggested needle size and gauge. And
it's the gauge that's important.
It's the gauge that's important because between Lisa and I can use a 2 millimeter and she can use a 2.5 millimeter. Same yarn, same stitch count, and we'll have very different fabric. So,
well, a better example would be like if you were to knit, if we both knit a swatch using the exact, like if I use the needle that she would use for a worsted, my swatch would be huge. No, it'd be smaller because I'm looser. It'd be tiny, tiny, tiny.
Yeah.
Whereas if she used my needle, it would be pretty big, because I knit tight and she knits loose. So, the needle size is. So we always, it's interesting.
We try to say it, and we will continue to do it.
But it's important to realize that please don't do it on my needle size. Make sure you do the gauge swatch. Yeah. Do a gauge swatch and do that. Yeah.
And I think it's, you might like a different type of fabric, especially for shawls. You might want to drape your fabric, so someone might use a bigger needle size. But really, you just have to do your own knitting on... I always start with the recommended needle size, although I know now I can go down a quarter to a half millimeter, and get the desired fabric.
See, now I know. Because I know for the most part, I will look at the suggested size and I will go... You're
usually pretty close.
No.
You go up.
I go up a full size.
Yeah.
And then I'll work my way down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you learn that with the types of yarns when you knit them regularly. Yeah. If it's a completely new type of yarn or size of yarn that I don't knit with often, then I would get... I actually do now gauge swatch.
When it comes to Peyton's Classic or Cascade... 220. I pretty much know, depending on now. Now, part of the thing is when you do as a designer, when they decide what their gauge they want it to be,
that's their gauge.
That's their gauge, and you have to get that gauge to get the garment to fit,
or to look how the sample looks,
right?
Or for the lace to open up and look nice,
and that's very important. But I can pretty much tell, like, if their gauge seems looser, then I know that I'm gonna have to go up a couple, or So you get experience and stuff. So
we'll always let you know that. Yeah. But it's just if you're concerned about what needle size did you use, we'll tell you. But you may need a totally different size, especially, and we're so different. Like, we need a podcaster that's in the middle. That's usually standard because we're always
right or close to
that's always recommended because I'm usually go down because I'm too loose and she goes up because she's too tight.
Way too loose.
So yeah. And I have an example of that when I talk about my whips. So.
I also have
boxy.
I have the boxy, and I have this one. This one is for me. This pattern, I fell in love with it when it came out in the pullover, and then it came out in a cardigan, and It came out in a cardigan, in a cardigan, and I loved that one too. So it is, yeah, it's it's the Carbeth cardigan.
So let's show the back.
Okay, so you can just see.
Because the first one that came out was the non-cart, like a pullover.
It was a pullover.
And this is how the front looks and back. Yeah. On the pullover. And then you did the cardigan. It's by Kate Davies.
Yep. So part of the reason I picked this yarn is I had it.
I'll hold it.
I had it. I had enough to do.
You're almost done.
I am. I just have to do the plackets on the sides, and then the collar, and I'm done.
Nice.
So. That will be an FO next time.
This is a chunky?
Bulky, I think.
Bulky?
It's a Cascade Eco.
Is that a join?
No, it's a notch or something.
Cascade Eco and 2 balls for
you. 2 balls for me, for your size. For my size. And it's funny because I bought this color.
It's a nice gray.
The dark gray, and I bought a light gray for, I was going to do like a wrap.
Oh, yeah.
And it just looked like, I didn't like it when I was done. So I took it all apart. And I had it sitting in my stash, and this came up on my feed. So I was like, oh, wait a second.
Awesome. And you're going to do another one in the pullover.
I am, in the light
You're going to talk about that in the casting on part.
Yeah. There we go.
Carbeth.
Okay. Yeah, so that's good. Great instructions.
Carbeth.
Great
Good patterns?
Good patterns. She's pretty experienced at it by now. So yeah.
Oh, I guess I shouldn't be knitting. I have to talk about my stuff.
Yes, we're talking.
I have, okay, so I already showed I'm working as I'm sitting here knitting the back panel for my pillow. So I want to get that done. And I've got the pillow form. I just have to finish it. I showed my Knit Sister Tube scarf, which is just, I pick it up and knit on it occasionally and do a little bit. And I cast on 2 new shawls. So, first,
2 new shawls.
I did. I have been wanting to do for
I've seen that first one.
For your fade.
Yeah, okay.
I've been wanting to do that. Yeah, I did that. Well, I started it on our trip. I took the yarn. I've been wanting to do for your fade for a while. It's by Andrea Mowry. So it is the smaller version of Find Your Fade. Well, it's not the same shaping, but it's a smaller alternative.
It's an alternative.
Yeah,
it's a good one.
And so I think Find Your Fade, you need like 5 different, or she calls for 5 different. It's big. 5 or 6?
It's 6.
Yeah.
It's something, yeah.
Free Your Fade uses about 2.5 skeins, but it's asymmetrical triangle, so you could use up all 3 if you wanted, or you could use as many colors as you want. And
what you got in the bag? Let's see. Oh, I love
this is how much I did. I haven't knit on it in over a week.
Oh, yes, I did know you did this. I'm sorry.
I showed you what I got. Yes. So my first color, it's so pretty. It's just little hints of this rose color and some taupe on a natural base. So this color one is called Bare Ass, and it's by a Whimsical Wood Yarn. Bare Arse. And she has beautiful colors. She's in the States, and she has really great names and some really great colors. And then she has a sweary site with some very sweary names. And so I think Bare Ass is one of the milder ones, but it came off the sweary site. But it's just really cute. Just subtle. Okay, so the pinks and browns.
It's very pretty.
Then very similar tones, but just more, and some green. And this is My Neighbor's Garden by Adrian of Old Oak Yarns.
Yay!
Okay, so those are gonna go. And then
can I go?
Yeah, I haven't wound it yet. Then this one I just love. And this is Vintage Vineyard, also by Old Oak Yarns. And Vintage Vineyard was a the Kitchener Waterloo show colorway that she did when she did the show last year. And it's the same tones, like you've got the greens.
It's beautiful.
Oh, what am I doing? I'm like holding it totally backwards. Yeah, so there's some greens in there. Yeah, so these 3.
That'll be beautiful.
Yeah. So when we were talking about gauge, I think it called for a 4. Or did it call for 3.5?
What are you up to?
Called for 3.5 millimeter, which is a typical size I use for shawls. So I thought, okay, great. So I started on my 3.5.
Great, I have that size.
My Lika needles, because they do go down to 3.5. And I am finding this really loose. Like, it's not even blocked. Right now, it is exact fabric I would like post-blocking. So once I block it, even if I try not to block aggressively, it's going to grow a bit because I want to open up the eyelets, right? And it's just like boing, boing, boing. It's really loose. So I haven't done much, and I have no qualms about going back and starting over, as you know. I'm going to start over with, what did I buy? A 3? A 3. I'm going to go to a 3. 3.25 won't be much of a change. So I don't want to use, I bought bamboo because I'm in a bamboo mood right now.
Knitter's Pride.
Yeah. So this is, my interchangeable sets don't come this small. So our yarn shop had the Knitter's Pride bamboo. This is only a 32 inch. I may have to pick up a 40 later because it does get quite big, but this will last me for a while. So I am going to do a do-over on this, but it technically is a whip, and I'm excited. It's a very easy pattern.
Nice.
And like I said, you can do as many colors as you want and fade them whenever you want. She tells you exactly how to do that.
Very cool.
Yep. This is in my bag, a Knits Best Thing bag, my medium-sized tote. I love these colors. This was actually in my shop, and then I needed a bag when we went away. And so that's the nice thing about sewing bags and having a shop, is you always have bags when you need them. Okay, let's try this again. This is Groovy.
I'm sorry, as much as you love those colors, that does not do it any form of justice.
Well, if it's, you can't see the light through it. No, it's a really neat, like an acid green.
Yeah, it's like
and there's
really...
some pink flecks in there.
And white flecks.
Okay.
And gray.
Let me tell you about this. So this is Groovy. Where did I write it down? It's by Jumper Cables, Annie Baker. And I'm knitting it in Hedgehog Oracle. And I'm using 2 different yarns. So one section is the Skinny Singles Merino. And the next section is the Kid Silk Lace. And there's a story about this colorway. So Groovy is just an asymmetrical shawl with stocking and reverse stocking. It starts at a point and you can just keep going. And it comes in 2 versions. There's a lace or fingering weight version of the pattern and also a, I think it's DK worsted version. It looks gorgeous in a solid or tonal, like really classy in a solid. I just really wanted to use this color, and I had 1 skein of each, which isn't enough to hold double and do the full shawl. So I thought I'll alternate them, kind of like Birds of a Feather, right? Alternates these 2 yarns. So I bought this yarn in a kit from Feather Your Nest, who has an amazing selection of Hedgehog.
Hedgehog Oracle.
Yep. So this is the Oracle colorway, okay? So I wound them up, and then I thought, this one looks a tad purplish, and there's a lot more green.
Too gray.
Yeah, there's a lot more green in this one. So I had started it, and I did a couple sections in this color, and then I thought,
it didn't make you happy.
It's not as close
it looked
to this.
Beautiful.
It did.
Looked gorgeous, but it wasn't what you wanted.
I wanted it to look like I was knitting with the same yarn, right? Even though it's a different base. So I went back to Feather Your Nest, because she has a lot more skeins of this. And they're all, it's hand dye, and they're all a little different. And I found another skein with way more green. Okay. So here's the thing.
Can you stop for a second? Hold up the other bow here so you can see the difference.
I'm going to. So check this out. Okay.
Those are the
same. This is the monkey in the middle.
All 3 of them are the same colorways.
Same colorways. Now I know different bases will hold color differently, so that's not a concern.
Yeah.
But these 2 are quite different.
Yeah.
And this is nothing, no complaint against Hedgehog at all. This is the beauty of hand dye.
That's part of the beauty, but it's also the monster, right? Like,
well, it just means that if you're buying for the same project,
you have to look at them.
Open up the skeins. If the store, usually the store will do that for you, like pull the band off, open up the skein, and just have a look at the color distribution, and try and buy them together. And if you want them to look like the same, then that's what you should do. It's just an FYI. I love Hedgehog. There's no issue with either of these. No. Just that they're very different. It's just informational.
Either would work. It's just not what's in your mind.
So what I did was I alternated them.
Because she wanted the one in the middle.
Because then I get a little more green, and it's not quite too light. A little more gray. I actually did do a section in this and took a picture and was sending it to, the friends, saying, okay, now look at this. Like, what the heck? I'm not getting what I want.
What do I do?
So I alternated. So I'll do a few rows in one skein and a few in the other, and I get the pops of green I want, and it looks exactly like I'm knitting with the same yarn. I love it. This is what I was going for, and I made it happen.
Yeah.
I'll have a bit of this left over.
Sometimes you have to think creatively.
Well, I wasn't
out of the box.
I cannot afford to go back and buy another skein.
No.
And I just thought between the 2 of them, they'll make what I wanted.
Yeah.
Lisa suggested holding these double,
but
which I did.
Thick, he said.
I did a swatch, and I'd have to go up a needle size. It was just a little too thick because of the halo and all the mohair, and really not as loose. So so I thought, I'll alternate them, and it worked perfectly. So I just love this, and it's going so fast. It's very easy because it's not really even a pattern. It's just sections. So other than I have a lot of ends because I'm changing yarns, and now I'm alternating in the same section. But I'm doing it as I go. So I try to keep it under control.
Good thinking.
Yep. Love it. Look at that green. Woo! Love it, love it, love it, love it. So this is going to be fun. I'm going to
nice when it's done.
Yeah, I'm going to have a hard time putting it down. And that's it for my whips.
That's it.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So casting on, you want to do another Carbeth.
I'm doing a Carbeth.
The
I'm doing
pullover.
the pullover.
Also in the same yarn?
And the same
The
yarn. I
Cascade
have it,
Eco?
right? I have it at home, so I don't want to have to go and get more.
Different color.
It's a light gray. Surprise! Yeah, it's a light gray.
Okay.
And I also have that Holt that I bought at
The Holst Garn Coast.
Yeah, Coast
base.
from
Knit Stitch in London
Knit Stitch.
carries it.
Yes, it's beautiful.
It's a very affordable yarn and it's beautiful.
It's cotton and wool.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm going to make a little t-shirt for summer. Maybe
And the pattern you're going to do, you think, is Lena?
Lena by Carrie Bostet Hogue. Yeah.
Once we probably the next episode, if you've started it, we'll be able to show that. But that's what you're thinking.
That's what I'm thinking of you doing.
And
I may have to do a groovy though, but we talked about that. I might have to wait until she's not home. Come home and come in and steal one of her pieces.
You can have the other skein. I'm totally going to do another groovy in a solid, like in a nice. I think a fingering weight. You could do it in any weight because it's just asymmetrical as long as you have enough yardage. I'm totally going to do one.
Another thing is you could do it in a thicker weight and it just doesn't have to be as big.
Yeah, or make it a little looser so it's drapier.
Yeah. So,
If you want to see, go and look at the projects. If you want to see two beautiful examples of groovy, go on Espace Tricot's projects and look at, they've done a couple, 2 or 3, in different yarns. And they're,
I like
they're
it because
gorgeous.
you know what? It's a beautiful shawl. Like it's a beautiful pattern, but it's also one of those patterns that you should use really nice yarn for.
Yeah, it's
because
worth
it highlights the yarn more than anything. And it's just that she's done a great Jumper Cables. What's her name?
Annie Baker.
Annie Baker's done an amazing job.
Yeah. So that and it's popular. Lots of people have knit it, understandably. Okay. Other stuff. Stash building. You've got some
Mine's
new
not
yarn.
really exciting.
Hey, it's yarn.
Actually, it's funny because you were talking about it earlier. Mary Maxim's here in town does
in London.
And our friend Noelle was working in London, and she and I have a thing for rustic yarns, like soft.
You like
yarns.
woollier yarn than I do.
I do, and
I'm a princess.
So, shoe fetch.
I do. I like softer yarn.
So, she actually called me and she told me what colors were there, and I told her which colors would be good. And so yes, I got 2 of each
like this,
ball.
though.
This one's nice. It's
I love
got,
the dark aubergine.
purples and green and
That dark
lime
purple.
green. You can hold it.
2 different greens. 3 different greens.
Yeah,
Look at
there's
that.
2 different greens.
Dark, medium, light.
Yeah, and then there's purple. There's 2 different color purples because if you peel this back here, there's a
there-
light color in there.
Ta-da.
So yeah.
This is called Bramble Stripes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one is called Landscape Stripes. It's kind of,
All different greens and a little bit creamy yellow. That's nice too.
and this
I
is
love that.
Sweet Stripes.
This is a great summer.
Yeah, and I got 1 of each.
Summer colors.
Sorry, 2 of each. So it'll be nice. But you know what? It blows my mind. Those were so economical.
I know.
They were $3.19 a skein for a ball.
They're, how much are they at Michael's? Like you have to use a coupon and they're still not under $4.
But these are discontinued colors, right?
Yeah.
So it's only certain colors they have there. But
Yeah, hey. You know what? I've been
they
there.
make amazing gifts.
I've been there twice.
Yeah.
Thinking, okay, so I saw it in the catalog. I get the catalogs.
Yep.
And it said clearance. And I thought, oh, they're going out of it. And then I was at the store. This is last year, months ago. I was at the store and they had a huge bin of it. And it was different colors. And it was a great price. And I thought, oh, they're going out of it. So I bought a couple. Actually, that's probably where I bought the one that I just did those socks with. And then I was back again a few months later. And they still had it. And it's still in the
different
catalog.
colors. Yeah.
So they're not, I don't think, going out of it.
I think it's just this discontinued colors or older or last season
so definitely
colors.
look online, or if you're in London or Paris,
Ontario, and
go
they
to
have
the
them
store
there.
and check out what they have, because that is, if you can make a pair of socks, and I didn't even use the whole skein, you can make a pair of socks for $7. That's pretty crazy.
So I ordered this book. I saw this book a while ago, and I actually ordered it from the website Coco Knits. And it's Julie Weisenberger. Yeah, so
I've heard of this book before.
Yes, and it's really interesting because she has a different way to assemble things, and in the book it describes it, and there's like a worksheet for you to fill out and whatnot. It's pretty amazing.
So they're all top-down,
seamless, tailored sweaters.
So are they all the same construction? Have you really looked through it yet?
I've looked through most of it, and a lot of it is very similar.
Okay.
They basically, she starts
different
here.
styles.
Well, the thing is, it's the same start.
Okay.
But it doesn't, but what you can do with it is so different.
And
So
there are very good instructions for modifying to fit.
Yes, exactly. So it's a really interesting book. I've been reading it.
There's a worksheet at the back
to fill out your own numbers,
measurements and
stuff. And if you actually order it from BrambleKnits, the website itself, you get a PDF download
for your Ravelry library.
No,
or just
actually, they just
PDF
send
download?
which is kind of nice because there's nothing worse than you buy a knitting book and you want to get your grubby paws on it. But no.
Plus, there are
Shipping.
instructions for different stitch types,
it's kind of interesting
how to work in your end. This is very thorough. Like it's got how to do Kitchener, how to work in your ends, picking up stitches.
But this is the part.
What is this? False grafting a horizontal seam for underarm.
Yeah,
I like the sound of that. Oh,
so yeah, it's.
I'm gonna do that next time.
So yeah, it's quite interesting, and it's got like those are pretty.
I'm not showing it to everyone because copyright issues, right?
Yeah.
But we'll talk about what's in here.
But it's kind of neat because the way they assemble the shoulders in there.
Really neat construction.
It is. It's really interesting.
There's a lot of different patterns in here.
Yep.
It's not like just one.
It's she refers to it as a Coco Knits method, and that's how she does it. So I can't really. Yeah, you have to check her out.
And what is Coco Knits? Her company, like her design company?
Well, it's not just her design company. It's they remember those scissors I got from Kitchener. She does all those accessories and stuff. So yeah. But no,
she's got sweater
worksheets and
So this is really great because you can put in your
measurements,
measurements, as well as calculate different stitches for different pieces.
So yeah,
lovely. I've seen this book, and I don't remember what podcast it was on. So I have seen other podcasters talk about it, and I've probably seen it in a shop or two as well.
But yeah, it's
really nice. Cool. So are you going to try one of these?
I am.
Good. Then you can report back.
I will. Not right away because I have to do a couple of things first.
Yeah.
Like I'm dying to do that sweater from Adrian. The Old Oaks yarn colorway. What's it called? Comfort Zone? Yeah. I don't know. She did a custom gradient for me, so I'm dying to use that.
Yeah. You could use that on
I might.
These fits.
Depends on how it goes. So.
I like the shoulders on that.
Well, that's part of it. You have to look at the shoulders.
So it's a little bit different than other sweater constructions. Okay.
Awesome.
Great.
Perfect. Thanks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else? You have the Croy.
Yeah, that's it for stash building.
Okay. Because you already have the yarn for your Carbeth.
Yep.
I have a few new things. So we went on a vacation to Las Vegas, and that was fun. My husband was at a conference for 4 days, so my son and I were hanging out and doing a few things. And before I get into the whole yarn shop thing, if you follow us on Instagram I might have just done it on my account. One night we went out for dinner, and wherever we decided to go, it was near an outlet mall. Like the south one down the strip. So there was a huge outlet mall. And this restaurant was right beside it, wherever we were going for dinner. I can't remember if it was Outback or whatever it was. And so my husband says, "Oh, they have a Fox store." I'm like, "What do you?" Okay, my husband.
Oh, I know
does
what
not
it is.
shop.
It's the motocross Fox.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Fox Racing, and he loves he would love to have a dirt bike. And if he gets a dirt bike, I get a sock knitting machine. So
I don't know. I want a dirt bike.
That's the deal.
I would want a dirt bike.
He does not shop ever. Like I will buy.
So he went to the
socks for him. He does not shop. He does not care about shopping.
No.
I'll buy clothes for him. Like he will buy his own shoes because he has to buy the ones he likes to fit. That's it. So yeah, he actually said, "Oh, he was excited about this store," and I said, "Well, let's go check it out. We're parked right out, like in the mall parking lot. Let's go check it out." So we were in the parking lot, and we got out of the car, and he was still getting out of the car, and I was looking at my phone, and kind of realized there was a car pulling into the spot right behind me. So I kind of thought, okay, don't get run over. I looked up, and the guy had music playing on the stereo. And so I kind of looked up. He had
I know what this is.
He had his window down, And I kind of looked up and moved over thinking, oh, I better get out of his way. And he saw me and he said, oh, sorry. And he turned the music down, like thinking that I was looking at him because the music was too loud. And I said, oh, no, it's fine. It's good. Like, it was actually just nice. It was really nice music. And he's like, he said, oh, it's good. And I said, yeah, it's good. I said, it's fine. I was just not paying attention. And
I was trying not to get hit.
Yeah. I didn't want him to think that I thought he was trying to hit me. He wasn't. I just was on my phone. So then he said, well, it's me. And I was like, get out. And so I walked over.
Right.
Yeah, I walked over and he's like, yeah, it's me. And he says, I'm a hip hop artist. He said, I'll play you some. And my son was standing there and he's like, it's kid friendly. It's good. It's safe. And I'm like, okay. So he
safe.
He played another song. He has a really nice voice. And
cool.
He tells me his name was Tiangelo. And he says, I have a podcast. And he hands me, he goes, yeah, I have a podcast. And I said, I have a podcast too. I have a knitting podcast. Like, oh, I'm sure he's thinking, oh, that's really cool, lady. He was so graceful and gracious and kind. So he gave me his card. He has a podcast with a few friends. Gorilla Cross. Actually, that's not the podcast. The podcast is called. It's on Gorilla Cross. Oh, his podcast that he's on is The Odd Perspective Weekly. So if you want to check out some hip hop music, you can listen to his podcast. And he has have a really nice voice. I don't know about any of the other people.
That sounds like a joke.
I know.
The knitting podcaster and the hip hop podcaster
crazy,
walking to a bar.
So I took a selfie just to put it on Instagram. And I put,
that's great.
What's the word? I tagged him and his podcast. And then he said thanks. And then whoever looks after the podcast account, because he said, oh, I'm going to learn to knit. Like, well, I hope you do. You're probably not watching. But someone from the podcast account wrote something like, dude, that's dope. Oh my God. Oh,
I love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
I only wish I was that cool. So then,
it's getting hot.
like 2 days later, we're on the strip and I saw this a few times. There would be people that would like walk up to people and they had CDs and they'd be talking to them and sign them, and they were basically selling them without selling them. Like kind of like, oh, here's my CD. Do you like music? And they sign it and give it to you and say, oh, we're just selling these for donations today or giving these out for donations. Yeah. So, they're independent artists, whatever. So this girl walked up and she was, oh, hey, she's like, oh, do you listen to hip hop music? Do you like music? And she tells me her name is Love Jones and she's got her CD out. Okay. And she signs it. And then, so she says, yeah, I'm a hip hop artist. And I said, oh, do you know Tiangelo? Like it's Las Vegas. Like they all, yeah. Like that's like, do you know Dan from Winnipeg? Yeah.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, do you know Tiangelo? He's a hip hop artist. I just met him the other night. So she gave me her CD. I gave her a little bit of money. We took a picture and yeah. She has a nice voice too. So I don't know how much music she has. I don't know if it's just a single, but there's me, hip hop magnet. I'm meeting all the hip hop artists in Vegas. So
maybe I need to go to Vegas.
Crazy. And we were using transit.
Nice.
So we had transit passes, and the transit system in Vegas is amazing. It is so well organized, easy to understand, clean, safe.
Nice.
Yeah. So we took a couple of buses, and we went to the Sin City Knit Shop.
Okay.
And I met Debbie and some of her staff, and she was so sweet. And also while I was there, I had just gone in looking around, and a lady came up to me and asked if I was Dawn from the Codependent Knitters. Like seriously. And she watches us. So I took a picture with her. That was on Instagram. And that was so nice of her. I'm so glad that she came and said hi. It's just nice to meet people that watch us. It's awesome. So it's a great yarn shop. I did share some pictures. They had like
You said it was
three
huge.
Well, the shop itself isn't crazy big. There's a lot in there, but they had 3 tables. Can I just steal your yarn? They had 3 tables of knitters. Tension. Okay, seriously though, they had 3 tables and they were full of people just knitting. And I said, "Oh, do you have a class?" And she said, "Oh, no, they're just knitting." So
can you imagine having that many people there regularly?
it sounds like it's always like that. And they have a classroom off to the side where they did have a lesson going on.
Okay.
So the ladies are wonderful. Jack sat down with his iPad and kept himself busy, and she offered us, want some cold water, and they had snacks on the table. They have a great selection of yarn, and she is also dyeing her own yarn. So Sin City Yarns, and I picked up some souvenirs. So this was one, I don't think she can keep it in stock, but like when she dyes yarn, it tends to go
quickly. A cloudy day.
So this is her Sin City Yarns Vegas Lights base. And it's all different. It's a multi-texture yarn. Like there's some chainette in here and some stuff that looks like a ribbon yarn. Right?
Very cool.
And so it's tonal, and I just love, this is my light aqua blue color. And whatever she uses for wool wash, I know. Isn't that nice?
That's nice.
I know. It's so pretty. So I got that for me. And I got one of these. A little mini skein set of her, it's really nice and soft, of her, I think it's a sock yarn. Yeah, it is. And I got you one too, because there was only 2 with these 2 colors. So I picked up one for Lisa. And then I bought some other yarn. It's put away in my cabinet. I put it in my stash. It's just like a commercial brand yarn. But it was I just bought a couple. I liked the colors of it for something. One other thing. She gave us a gift.
Oh, nice.
It's a pattern book.
Nice.
It's
all their patterns.
She has different volumes. This is one of them.
Wow.
So there's a whole pattern collection. So we can share this.
Okay, perfect.
I want to keep it because there's some I want to knit. So this is all, there's 4 or 5 different pairs of fingerless mitts and some cowls. You haven't even looked at it. I didn't tell you about it.
No, those are beautiful.
Yeah, so you can find these patterns. You can get these books. I think you can get them from her website, but I don't think she has like e-commerce set up on her website. She just has stuff, and then I'm assuming you could phone and order it if you wanted to. But if you are ever in Vegas, I'd
check it out, baby.
Go. It's not actually very hard to get to, even with a vehicle. It's sort of south and then east from the Strip, and
that's cool.
It takes some knitting because there's lots of room to sit and knit. So that was Vegas. While I was in Vegas, coincidentally, Jenny from Woolly Jenny Podcast and Boss Lady Yarns, she was in Vegas too at the end of the week, and I had messaged her beforehand, and just said, hey, if we should get the opportunity to meet up, or whatever, that'd be cool. And we both were busy doing other things, but we were just messaging back and forth. So this is a funny conversation I have to share with you, because it's typical me. So we were just messaging back and forth about what our plans were, and she said, oh, did you go to the yarn shop? Yeah. And I said, oh, by the way, I got your yarn last week. It's an absolutely perfect shade of navy. I just love it. I believe I showed it on our previous episode, but I forgot that I did. So I just was because I hadn't messaged her, so I was just letting her, yeah, I got your yarn, loved it. So then she sends me, oh, you can't blow this up unless I take a picture of it. Laughy face, laughy face, laughy face. Help, I can't breathe. And I'm like, and she said, read what you wrote. So I go back and read.
Oh, no.
What I wrote was, oh, by the way, I got your urine last week, and it's an absolutely perfect shade of navy. Seriously, back in episode 5, maybe?
Something like that.
The whole suck urine conversation?
Yeah, suck urine.
My phone. So I did it to her. I'm sorry, Jenny. She was a very good sport. And then I said, oh my gosh, like OMG. And she said, oh, I'm glad you love it. So I told her, we had an episode a few months ago where I talked about how my phone always writes urine when I say yarn. Suck urine for sock yarn. So then, and I told someone I was going to a urine show. So then she said, oh, I'm laughing so hard in the middle of the store. And, whatever. So we were having dinner. So my husband's like, I'm laughing and texting. And I said, oh, my phone did the urine thing again. So then I messaged her and said, I think I'll be talking about your urine on that one too. We're hoping to record this week sometime. And then I was like, oh my gosh, my phone is possessed. So Willie, Jenny, you have beautiful urine and sock yarn. Your urine is a beautiful shade of navy. Oh my goodness. If you ever get a message from me, I dictate. I've told everyone this before. I use dictation a lot because I cannot type. It's worse when I type.
You know what?
Unfortunately, just the way I speak.
Some of us are used to it.
Some of us are used to my typos and know what I'm talking about.
Sometimes I'm kind of like, what did she say? What?
So I just want to show it again. Her beautiful yarn in her beautiful shade of navy.
That's gorgeous.
Boss Lady Yarn Co. And this is called Kimberly's Night.
That's beautiful.
Now, I think she just changed her logo. Mm-hmm. But this is her Like a Boss base. Merino nylon. It's really nice. It's nice soft yarn, which I love. There's a little progress keeper with her little logo on it. Yeah, so.
It's very cool.
Thanks for putting up with me and my terrible texts, Jenny. Seriously. The other thing I did in Vegas.
Whoa, dude.
The other thing I did in Vegas is while I was there, I thought I might as well get some Lolo Did It because she's in Vegas and bring it back with me so I don't have to pay shipping or get nailed with customs charges, right? Because we were there for a week, so I could have brought our whole shop back. So I messaged.
I hear it's pretty big now.
I messaged a few friends and took a few orders and brought back a whole bunch of Lolo Did It yarn. So I somehow got the impression that she had recently moved into a new location and had a shop. And I emailed her to find out if I could come and pick up the order. But she did not, in fact, have not a shop. Like they have moved to a warehouse, but it's not really. Yeah. So she just said, I'll have it shipped to your hotel right in Las Vegas. It'll be there next day. I was like, that's fine. So I didn't get to.
Neither one of those are you.
I know. Well, because you know what?
That's fine.
I wanted to get something different.
It's different.
Right? So this is Boombastic, and there it is.
You know, hanging out with hip hop artists.
This looks like limesicle. It's not. It's like poison green. Like it's very bright, very bright purple. A nice bold blue. There's some
black.
Yeah, some speckles in here. It's gorgeous. I just loved it, and then I got Bohemian Rhapsody. Got lots of neons, right? Like, look, there's like, this is actually neon.
Very nice. Good job, girl.
Okay.
What's that one called? Bohemian Rhapsody. That's why I'm saying.
And they're both
beautiful.
superwash merino nylon and tencel.
So it's her plush sock.
It's very nice. These would make great underwear for Dave. Either one. I probably need more than one skein. Maybe not.
Here's hoping you do.
Maybe not. So yeah, we all got Lolo Did It, and she threw in. I had. Okay, it was a big order, but then I was waiting to hear back from 2 people, and I didn't know if they were going to order. So I actually told her there might be more coming tomorrow, so don't ship it till you hear from me.
Yeah.
And I did add a few skeins the next day. So then I just said, FYI, the reason I'm ordering so much is because it's, I'm taking it back to Canada, and it's actually for about 6 different people. Like I'm picking it up for them, eh? It's going to a lot of different people. So then she threw in a Lolo Did It tape measure, which you can never have too many of these.
No.
And a little envelope with some stitch markers. And these are the light bulb ones.
Nice.
That you had.
Yep.
But she had different colors. So I kept the little envelope with the black ones. I'll give you a few. The little black ones for myself.
Nice.
You need something behind it so you can see it. Yeah. Cool, eh?
Very cool.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Lauren. She's a beautiful dyer. If you haven't heard about Lolo Did It, you're probably not watching The Grocery Girls or a few other podcasts who have mentioned and knit with her yarn. She has beautiful colorways and lots of different bases, and I'd love to have more someday.
Yeah.
So, yeah. That's it? That's my Vegas haul.
Woo! Vegas!
I'll just... Shop update. I'm not doing a shop update today. I have been doing some knitting, and I have a few bags done, but just a few, and they're not photographed or ready to go in the shop yet. So, giving my arm a break, I will be doing some sewing.
Nice.
Did I say I was doing knitting? I've been doing some sewing. I have been
Good
doing
job.
a lot of knitting, but I also have done a little bit of sewing.
Yes.
Yeah, so I'll get some more stuff done, and probably the next time we podcast, we can do a shop update. Other podcasts. Big news.
Yay!
Our good friend Noelle, she's here in Sarnia.
And you've heard us mention
We've mentioned
her a
Noelle
couple
many
of
times.
Yeah.
We get together and knit with her usually at least once a week. She has started a podcast.
Yep.
With her daughter, Jacqueline.
Yes. And it's called Knits and Pieces.
Knits and Pieces. So we'll put it up on the screen. It's on YouTube. And there's one episode out, and we happen to know the inside scoop. There's another one
coming.
Yeah, coming soon. We just knit with her yesterday. So.
Yes.
And I also wanted to mention, we have talked, this was way back, we had some little jingle bell stitch markers.
Cat alarms, yes.
Lisa calls them cat alarms.
Yeah.
Lisa ordered some from Bling Your String. So Erin on Bling Your String. And I also showed a sock blanket that I got from her at the show at Kitchener. So she gave us a couple for donations. And I don't know if I mentioned, I don't think I
we
did
at the time.
She also is on a podcast with her friend Tiffany. So it's called Knitting at Tiffany's.
Okay.
And yeah, it's. I just wanted to mention it again. Another Southern Ontario podcaster, well, two podcasters. So check them out. Knitting at Tiffany's. They have a great podcast. And then one more. I just found out about through a bit of a story, but I've watched it, and she has an excellent podcast. So Earth Tones Girl, all one word, on YouTube.
Okay.
It was actually Remembrance's Pottery who mentioned her because, and there's a bit of a background here. So Natalie of Remembrance's Pottery is here in Sarnia. This is one of her knitting themed handmade pottery mugs, right? She makes beautiful mugs. She also makes yarn bowls and buttons and shawl pins.
She also makes it ketchup bowls too.
Ketchup?
Ketchup. Like, just little bowls where you can put your stitch markers and stuff in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or your cable needle or
not
whatever.
ketchup.
No, ketchup.
Yeah, so you've probably heard of her. If you haven't, she does beautiful pottery.
By hand.
Yeah, hand.
By herself.
So she recently did a shop update. She hadn't had one for a while. She'd had kiln problems and whatever.
Yeah.
And she did a shop update, and she had posted when it was going to be, and her stuff was gone, like, immediately. And there was a lot of anticipation for a shop update from her. It had been a little while.
I remember watching her in Woodstock, though. A lot of her stuff went very quickly.
Oh, yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah. And it's unique. But there was much anticipation and then much disappointment. And unfortunately, some just really unkind feedback. I think most of it was directed privately to her as opposed to publicly. However, she actually went on Instagram and did a little video that day and talked about it. And if you've ever met her in person, she is the sweetest. And you know what? We're sticking up for our hometown girl and for all makers, because that's unacceptable. I understand they're beautiful mugs, and I understand the disappointment when you really want one.
Yeah, I can understand the frustration, the disappointment.
Of course.
But part of the reason you want it is because there's not many out there.
Yeah.
It's all made by hand. And to treat...
There's just no excuse for the lack of manners, and just, be human. Like, come on. So, Earth Tones Girl, and I don't even know her real name. Earth Tones Girl, she mentioned it right after on her podcast, and just talked about our need to be patient and be kind
to each other.
And that was really nice. And so I watched her podcast because Natalie had thanked her for that. And, I totally echo everything she said. And just, these are handmade. They are rolled and stamped and assembled. They are excellent quality, and quality takes time, and handmade takes time, and she's not a factory.
No.
And she does what she can. And if you should ever be fortunate enough to buy one of her mugs, that's wonderful. If you try and don't get one, just try to remember that as beautiful as they are, it's also just a coffee mug. Like, a coffee mug should not derail your entire life, and
entire
it's
day.
not. Yeah, it's not worth outrage. So we hope that.
Hopefully she'll be out.
I don't think it's discouraged her. Like, I hope she's been buoyed again by all of the support. And yeah, just I think she's going to change how she does her shop updates from now on, and not publish like post a time,
Right.
and just put some up in little batches. She also posts her seconds. So watch for those in her shop, because this is what she deemed a second. And honestly, if this is a second, like, and I bought it, there were still firsts available when I bought it, but none this color. And I just loved this color, and it caught my eye. We were at the show, and it caught my eye from the aisle, and I'm like, oh,
she pushed me
I didn't
over.
know it was a second. I actually was like, why is this one a little less money?
You pushed me out of the way.
Well,
I need to get in there,
I'll
move.
trample you. I want that mug. No, but it so she will post seconds if she deems them sale worthy. And don't let that dissuade you, because this is a beautiful mug, and I cannot imagine why it's a second. Something wasn't quite right by her standards, and she has very high standards. So keep making, Natalie. And there was actually a little talk on Girls in the Yarn Cafe. Christy and Tristan talked about 2 episodes ago. They just talked about online bullying and how, and I haven't seen, other than this incident with Natalie, they were talking about it happening in the knitting world online, like in the knitting community, and people, you know what they're saying is there's room for everyone. There's room for all the makers. If you see someone else's competition, I think check your values, because everyone makes something unique and different. And even if it's the same style, it's a different fabric, your stitch keeper may be different, whatever it is. And there's room for everyone. And, put your stuff out there, make it, be proud of it. And someone will appreciate it. And if someone buys your stuff, just be thankful. And if you buy something from a maker and you really enjoy it and appreciate it, the best compliment you can give them is to tell someone. So, share it. And that's there's room for everyone. Absolutely. So, Earth Tones Girl is a great podcast. Aside from the great things she said about Natalie, it's a great podcast. So we hope you check her out too.
And that's it.
I think that's it.
That's it.
Okay. Thanks for watching.
Happy knitting.
We are on Ravelry. We have a Ravelry
Yes.
group, Codependent Knitters. We are on Instagram,
As
Codependent Knitters.
You're also on
My Etsy shop is The Knits Best Thing.
Yep.
And I have an Instagram. So when I do shop updates, I post that on my Instagram account.
Yep.
We don't have Facebook yet. We haven't really talked about it. We've got the Ravelry group for conversation. I'm not sure what we're going to do. And we do occasionally put out Knit With Us videos. So we have 2 of those on our channel, and there's no showing of work other than we'll talk if we're wearing something or what we're knitting on. Yep. But it's just a Knit With Us. It's like a virtual knit night, and we just knit and talk and chat, and they're not very long.
So if you can think of anything you want to ask us, that would be really great. If you went on to Ravelry, I think we have a thread.
We do have a thread.
We have a thread, and it'd be great. We'd be more than happy to have...
To give us conversation topics for our Knit With Us videos.
But for every question you ask us, you have to answer it.
Tell us your answer. And so we already have a topic planned, and we're just going to get together sometime soon and record another one of those. Yep. So they're a lot of fun. Also, I'll just do another plug for Fiber Friends Friday Night Knit In. So our friends, the Fiber Friends in London, every Friday night, there's a Facebook group. It's a closed group. You just have to ask to join. And there's a Facebook group for Friday Night Knit In.
Yep.
And all it is come together on Friday evening. They set a window of time, 6 p.m. till midnight. Your time.
Depending on
sometime in that time, people post, what are you knitting on? Like, they're just saying, make some time to knit. And here are some friends and a community you can do it with. So post a picture of what you're knitting on, post your progress. People have been great about helping with questions or problems. And they usually have one of the trio at least doing a live video sometime in that window. So usually Louise comes on in the evening, and Adrian has done a few after Louise as well. So you get to have a virtual knit night, and it's been really great. So another plug for that, because usually fun. I try and join in with those on Friday evenings as well and watch and knit. Yeah. And that's all.
That's it.
I think that's all. That's all for me.
That's it. I'm good.
Okay.
Happy knitting. Take care.
Thanks for watching. and make some time to make something.
All right.
That's my new thing.
That's your thing?
Make time to make, and be kind. I'm gonna do that over because, like, what the heck? Oh, this is why. Why do I have two? Oh. Have you done this before?
No. Not with that rat's nest.
I don't want. I'm mid-row. People always hate when that happens, but it's nice and big. I can pull it out. Okay. Okay, let's try this again.
We'll do a few phrases in the video because then I can take still if we just hold still. But sometimes I just really too much stuff in clear.